And subconscious in terms of time frames, I keep getting December. Is that time frame still looking the most possibility, or is it changed?
As the energies influx and change, it will continuously move, but it will be around that time that a greater level of people start to tangibly notice the changes of the shift. The actual event is due to happen then, but we cannot guarantee that it will at that precise time. But indeed, the changes of this event or the changes of the transition will become very apparent starting then.
Thank you very much. And in terms of any natural disasters or anything like that that's going to be happening, can we just confirm that there is nothing for her to worry about?
There is nothing to worry about. The earth will rumble and shake as she too sheds off her old layers, but there will be little affected by these. It is just a change, a growth of the planet as it shakes up and evolves as well.
Thank you very much. I just know that people need to kind of know as much details as possible so they don't get freaked out, and that they are prepared and understand the transition, and that the excitement of the new earth is the main focus of that, and how to get there may seem a bit strange, but it's the perfect transition for us. It's very exciting, even though it can seem a bit daunting when you hear it for the first time officially.
Yes, it may, but the results which will come from it will be amazing. It will not be completely easy and smooth for all. Some will suffer, and some will leave the realm of physicality through what you call death. But this is only just a transition as well. It is important to remember that everything is happening to help humanity to move with the earth as she ascends. Stay away from fear and the fearmongers. Stay away from the news and sources of information that do not open your heart. When you feel yourself tense up, when you are in communion with anything, it is a sign that whatever the thing is not of service for your greatest good, so you must desist.
Thank you very much, subconscious. That actually comes to an interesting question I have for you. There is talk about these temperature guns that are being pointed at people's foreheads to take the temperature of people for this virus. And there is a lot of talk about this actually damaging the people's pineal gland. Can you tell me more about this, please?
As we see, there are not many that are being utilized for this purpose, although there are a few people who have or are in the process of developing this technology. It will not affect many people. What we see as something to be cautious of is the testing for this said virus. The swabs that are being used contain, in some cases, agents that serve to hold the person receiving this test in an unadvantageous position. We advise that people stay away from these things as much as possible, because there are forces that are adamant on their mission to not allow humanity to move with the earth as she ascends. Trust your gut feeling. Do not buy into the fear or pressure of doing anything that in any way might feel unaligned with your being. It is important for people to be connected with themselves at present, because their own subconscious and even conscious body and mind knows what is best for them and what to avoid. The main thing being fear, because once this has delved its tentacles into one's being, one is susceptible of doing anything that is suggested to them. It is like being under hypnosis, but from the very other end of the scale. They become very programmable in a state of fear. So we advise to emphasize the things that bring joy to each and every individual.
Thank you very much. I've heard many light workers recently all talking about these guns, these temperature devices that are damaged, that will damage the pineal gland. And you've just said that there is technology coming, but there actually isn't an existence of these that will harm. Is that correct?
There are in existence already, but not very many at present. There is a wish by these beings to create more and spread them faster as they realize that the time is running short. So they are present, just not as widely spread yet.
I see, thank you. And so if you had to be forced to have this treatment then, and obviously that's going against your free will, because would anyone have in their life contract to be damaged by these guns?
The important thing to remember for all of humanity is the power of our own manifestation. If one were to be in a situation where they have to undergo this process, if they are in touch with their own higher power, or just will enough, they can overcome the intended effects of these guns by holding themselves in a bubble of higher energies. Whatever is directed to them cannot penetrate. It is like sending excess energies to the earth to be transmuted. That is an effective visualization should one undergo this process or find themselves having to. Direct the frequencies emitted to you towards the earth and ask that it take them and transmute them and create from that something that is actually beneficial to your being.
Thank you so much for that wisdom. I really appreciate it. And I do hope that all of the light workers who are wanting to warn people about these guns also share the information about how to protect themselves from these guns and not just leave the people in fear.
Indeed, it is important, even as light workers, to give a full picture, because their work is in empowerment, not disempowerment. For every perceived problem, there is a solution. You are powerful beings. Do not forget this power in these times.
Thank you very much. Can you give me insight into why these, what light workers are not giving the full information here? I don't understand why they are only giving the scare factor and not the advice and wisdom to follow through and protect themselves.
In the majority of cases, some of them have themselves become entrenched in the hype of this fear and do not intrinsically see a way out. This is how these powers work. You do not realize you are in quicksand until your head is under. They have been given part of the picture and have not asked or explored more into the empowerment factor of what they can do themselves to mitigate these influences. It is not by a wish to do harm from them. It is just an overlooking and also an unconscious embedment into this grid of fear currently being constructed over the earth.
Thank you. Can we send love and light and encouragement to all of the light workers who are trying to share the truth and wisdom to all of humanity at this very important time? And also, can we ask to understand the agenda of anti-life, the anti-life agenda? Can we confirm how is that agenda going?
The love is sent to all. There are beings who wish to entrench and devalue human life. This is just another facet of what you may call the dark side. We see it as a tactic of devaluing and thereby disempowering humanity at this critical time when it is most important to see their value within themselves and, more importantly, within the life of this earth, that which they inhabit. This movement will not gain much power as the light forces are way too strong now to allow for this. There will be many little facets that will come up with the same sort of motivation to demotivate humanity in this current pursuit. It is of no consequence. You are valued. All life is important, including that of animals and the fish in the sea. All matter, all lives matter. We laugh as we say that. as it is something that is being said a lot with misconstrued intentions.
Thank you so much. May we take this opportunity to send love all with much gratitude and love all the lessons we are learning.
We send love, gratitude, encouragement to humanity for all that they are doing and all that is to come. It will be glorious, it will be brilliant. But first must come a storm to cleanse away that which is not necessary. Allow the waters to wash you clean of any excess, that you may walk across the bridge freely, in joy and in honor.
Thank you very much. And are you using an analogy of a flood, or will this be a literal event?
There will be water events across the globe. It will not be like the flood of the deluge. It will be smaller events as the planet cleanses itself.
Thank you very much for all your information.